Binance records a whopping $1 billion in inflow in USDT as Bitcoin price trickles down. Now the question is a major pump incoming? I'm Kian from Crypto Bros. Really happy to have you here today on the 11th of July 2019. We've had quite a bit of correction until now. And yeah, I've got some quite interesting news articles to share with you. So stick around. And one of the last news articles I want to share is what's probably going to be happening with the price as soon as the halving happens, the Bitcoin halving. So yeah, stick around to the end and hope you enjoy this video. So with this price correction, there has been a massive influx in USDT, Tether coin going into Binance. And yeah, $1 billion in Tether is a massive amount. So as seen on this visualization, as you can see here, 1.32 billion US dollars worth of Tether was converted into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Now the thing is, Tether is not backed by USD, or it's backed by Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I think it's a bit questionable that so much USDT is going into the market onto Binance and being used to buy Bitcoin. So it's like buying Bitcoin with monopoly money, in my opinion. But yeah, not too sure what to think about that. In my opinion, it's a bit questionable. So as seen in the pie chart below, representing the inflow for Binance, BTC USDT contributed to 46.3% of the total inflow, which is worth 1.32 billion US dollars. So the biggest part, 46%, went into BTC USDT. And Ethereum was the second biggest individual contributing amount to 165 million US dollars, around 5.8%. And other cryptocurrencies amounted to 853 million US dollars, around 29% of the total inflow of this amount went into the other cryptocurrencies. So the news comes at a time when other popular exchanges like Bitstamp, Bittrex, or Polynex were barely reaching past 40 million US dollars in inflow. And yeah, I think it's important to be careful. So moreover, the interesting observation here is that the price of Bitcoin has collapsed exactly as the volume spiked. Now, if that's a coincidence or if that's pure market manipulation, I guess there's only a few people that actually know the truth behind that. So more often than not, usually when there's a massive amount of Tether being printed, the price of Bitcoin tends to surge a few moments after the printing. This could be sentiment or Tether at play, nothing for sure. However, one thing that is certain is that the price of Bitcoin is highly correlated to USDT, so how much USDT is being printed and put into the market, and we might see a massive spike in the price of Bitcoin. Now, if this spike is an actual spike or just due to manipulation and maybe short traders being squeezed out, that's another question. But at the moment, the price is down. So I'm going to be interested to see if this is going to have an effect on the price. But yeah, I guess we're going to have to find out. Now, on some positive news, Binance launches platform 2.0. Margin trading goes live. Now, it's also possible that this influx in USDT is due to Binance launching their platform. It might be the case, but yeah, no one really knows. So the top crypto exchange by trading volume, Binance has launched version 2.0 of its platform, and with this move, it also adds margin trading, which I've been highly anticipating. So the firm revealed that margin trading was on the way late of May, and that you could be trading with up to 20x leverage, but at the moment 3x leverage is allowed. And a basic explanation: so your margin wallet balance determines the amount of funds you can borrow following a fixed rate of 3 to 1. So basically the free amount, that means you can trade with 3 times the amount of money that you have on your margin account. So if you have 1 BTC on your margin account and BTC is worth 10,000 US dollars, then you can trade with 30,000 US dollars, which is a big amount. And then actually even crazier number is thinking about if you can trade with 20x. But margin trading is risky, and even riskier than the normal riskiness of the cryptocurrency market. So just be aware of that and know that very many people get wrecked in the market due to being liquidated with the price moving left, right, sideways, up and down, and being manipulated as the cryptocurrency market has always been. So margin trading is available in pairs including Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Binance Coin, Tron, and Tether initially, but can be funded with all supported coins on Binance, and the fees are 0.02% on all except BNB, which has a fee of 0.01%, which is pretty good. Though the current cryptocurrency market and legacy platforms for margin trading pose great risk and benefit at the same time, we are confident that its development, coupled with more knowledge on proper risk management, will help realize great benefits in the long run. One thing I really like about margin trading is that it gives you a tool to maybe increase your profit, especially when the market is going down, because that's one. I mean, for gaining profit in the market when the market's going up, it's pretty easy. You buy, you hold, and you wait for the price to go up. However, the thing is, when the price is up, you've only got one option, and that is sell your coins and wait until the price goes down, and then buy back in. But you only made a profit from the difference. But with the leverage trading, you can actually wait. You can see some pumps, and you can actually sell that coin with a leverage and buy back in at a lower price, and then profit from the difference. So I think it's a great tool. You just have to make sure that you've got a good profit risk ratio, a good risk management strategy, and you got to practice a lot with paper trading before you actually go into this. So if you go into this without any margin trading experience, you're going to be losing money at straight away, because emotions are big, especially when trading with margin. I mean, just trading normally in the cryptocurrency space, emotions play a big role. It's good to be able to control it, but it's not easy. So addressing the addition of margin trading, Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao said, "This is another step in providing an inclusive cryptocurrency trading platform catering to the needs of both advanced institutional traders and retail traders under the same roof. We are providing a new tool in the financial services and cryptocurrency markets to help amplify trading results of successful trades." What would be quite interesting, I would have to read about that, is to see if your account can actually go into the minus. On some exchanges, your accounts can actually go into the minus when, for example, due to slippage, your account gets liquidated, but there's a massive flash crash, and it's possible that your account is actually at a negative trading amount. It has happened on numerous occasions on Bitfinex. I'm not aware if it happened on BitMEX, but it's a risk, and you have to be aware that if you're trading with a very high margin, especially more than 3x, like 20x, it's possible that when your when your position gets forced close, you get liquidated, and the slippage is very, very big. It's possible that you get you owe the exchange some money even after your account is on zero. So it's possible that you're left with an account balance of minus 2,000, for example. But yeah, next news is Google Coin. So we've got Facebook Coin, Libra, and let's see if Google Coin within 2 years, with the fan group, will probably also go into the direction of crypto. So many big players are following suit. So digital currency will form a big part of all four FANG companies. So FANG is Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. Speaking of Facebook, Libra, the twins, the Winklevoss twins who co-founded cryptocurrency trading platform Gemini, said it was only a matter of time before other tech giants followed suit. FANG refers to the unofficial big four of the internet: Amazon, Netflix, and Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. And prediction is every FANG company will have some sort of cryptocurrency project within the next 2 years, Tyler told the network. So for the Winklevoss, however, the front door approaches to regulators is key in getting into any disruptive finance offering to the market. Though many say it is not a cryptocurrency at all, the twins even suggest they would facilitate trading of Libra on Gemini should it be open and not subject to prohibitive restrictions. So the Winklevoss twins are pretty accept the new coin Libra, and will probably be offering it on their Gemini platform. And I think it's going to be a good maybe foot in the door for many investors to also move into the cryptocurrency space. Maybe they trust Facebook more. Maybe it's the ease of use of the Libra coin will make many investors become more interested in also other alternative digital investment currencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on. Now, oil giant Shell invest in startup and uses blockchain tech for energy tracking. So similar to supply chain management. Now, Shell is a big oil company and a US-based blockchain startup working to democratize the energy industry has raised an undisclosed sum from oil multinational Shell and Japanese business giant Sumitomo Corporation Group. In an announcement published on Wednesday, Elo3 Energy said it has developed a transactive energy platform to address the challenges of tracking energy from different sources across supply networks. As we move into less carbonized futures, Shell aims to invest in innovative companies that will help enable the energy transition. So Elo3 Energy fits right into that space. I think it's fantastic, especially if we want to reduce our carbon dioxide footprint. Companies will have to become more accountable in what kind of trades they do, where they get the energy, and I think that's very important. Now, the startup's CEO Lawrence Orsini said, energy is going through a revolution with renewable distributed energy resources increasingly picking up market share. But to integrate them efficiently, we need to reinvent our energy networks, especially how it's being tracked to make sure it's clean energy, renewable energy, and not out of some coal mines like in China. But yeah, hopefully they're also changing to more renewable energy. Fed chairman, Facebook's Libra cannot go forward. Well, it's not anything new that the Fed is not happy about Libra. The Congress is also not happy about Libra because it's a massive competition to the United States US dollar. Now, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said that Libra raises serious concerns regarding privacy, money laundering, consumer protection, financial stability, adding that the project cannot go forward onto Facebook's answers to regulators' questions. Now, here I've got a few interesting aspects. Of course, I'm a bit split about the privacy aspect. I agree. Probably Libra and Facebook do not have the users' privacy. That's not their first goal. Basically, they want to use your data and sell it to different companies. But the aspect his concerns about money laundering is a bit laughable, because the first place for companies in money laundering are banks, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and other are the prime the prime companies, which are now currently laundering billions and billions of US dollars all around the world. So in my opinion, I think this is a bit laughable to use this as a concern. Another thing is financial stability is also a bit laughable, since even though I'm not too happy that Libra is going to be pegged to only fiat currencies such as USD, British pound, maybe Swiss francs, euro. In my opinion, it's actually much more stable if it's being pegged to multiple fiat currencies than the US dollar. The US dollar is losing so much in valuation in comparison to other fiat currencies. So in my opinion, financial stability is not a very good it's not a very good argument to say that Libra is going to maybe decrease financial stability. It's probably going to actually increase financial stability due to the fact that it's pegged to multiple fiat currencies. Now, US Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said Facebook's plan to build a digital currency called Libra cannot go forward until serious concerns were addressed. To his opinion, Libra raises many serious concerns, including potential risks to the stability of the financial system. But basically, it's a competitor to the US dollars. So, yeah, I understand his concern. Basically, they're scared. They're scared. They're scared. He said, I don't think that the project can go forward without there being broad satisfaction with the way the company has addressed money laundering. All of those things, Libra raises many serious concerns regarding, we already saw that, money laundering, consumer protection, and financial stability. So the company says still has to face the questions, and even though he thinks he supported financial innovation, as long as appropriate risks are identified, he thinks that the massive platform enjoyed by Facebook immediately sets Libra apart from other digital currency projects. Facebook has a couple of billion users, so I think you have for the first time the possibility of very broad adoption. Any problems that could emerge through Libra would arise to systematically important levels just because of the mere size of Facebook. But yeah, I understand the concerns, some of the concerns, but I think Facebook made a very good chess move and is developing Libra in Switzerland. So it's actually basically outside of United States jurisdiction. So even though they're going to be unhappy with the regulations, I think the only thing that they could try and do is ban the use of Libra in the United States, and that wouldn't be the first country which is trying to ban Libra or is not accepting Libra with open arms. I mean, India is one candidate, China is one candidate, so it's understandable that governments Federal Reserves are very scared of Libra as a competitor, because it's, in my opinion, it's Facebook has got the users and it's got the reach, and it's probably going to make an application that's very easy to use. And there's so many people around the world that don't have banks and they've got a mobile phone, they've probably got WhatsApp, and it's going to be so easy for them to buy the coin. And that's why I believe it's probably going to be successful, even with regulators not being too happy about it. But it's going to be interesting to see how this evolves. Now, Samsung adds Bitcoin support for the Galaxy 10 smartphone. South Korean global electronics conglomerate Samsung adds Bitcoin BTC support for their blockchain Galaxy 10 smartphone, the Galaxy phone, which supports cryptocurrency. And I think this is good. The same with like Libra, many users having WhatsApp. I think this is also fantastic because there are so many Galaxy phones, Samsung phones around, and that just pushes adoption, pushes awareness. And when people are able to simply use the cryptocurrency wallets on the smartphones and don't have to think too much about how to install this wallet or that wallet, how to save their private keys and so on. I know it's important to have your own private keys, but most people are not very interested in that. So once the ease of use is increased, maybe through smartphone wallets, integrated smartphone hardware wallets, then adoption is going to grow exponentially. Now, a big event that's coming up is next year's Bitcoin halving, and the prediction is that it will push inflation rates down to 1.8%. So we've got around 313 days left until the next Bitcoin halving, and traders and investors are expecting a supply shock as the network supply of coin reduces in half. A supply shock means also that probably there's first of all going to be less coins on the market to be sold, and the demand is going to be probably the same as now or even higher. So that means an increase also in price. Now, this will not only cut the inflation rate down to 1.8%, but also skyrocket the global demand for Bitcoin as it becomes even scarcer. Now, traders are already anticipating next year's halving, and if you're maybe if you've seen the price progression of Litecoin, I guess you can also expect a massive increase in price of Bitcoin in the next half a year, next year, just due to this halving, because people are going to expect the price to rise, and since people are expecting the price to rise, they're going to buy Bitcoin, which will cause the price to rise, and that's going to be a cycle probably during the next year. Even though we might have slight corrections along the way, I think that the price is probably going to be parabolical, and we're going to be reaching new highs. But it's going to be interesting. Next year is definitely going to be interesting for Bitcoin. So while many believe a rally was inevitable, others believe Bitcoin's rise has been fueled by FOMO. In May 2020, the Bitcoin network is expected to halve, which means that the rewards for Bitcoin miners will reduce by half. Currently, the rewards for every successful mined block is 12.5%, around $163,000 at current prices. Next year, the reward will reduce to 6.25 BTC. So basically, the price would have to double. So now the price is around $11,000. So the price would have to double the current price so that the miners get the same amount of value for their 6.25 BTC. Now, of course, very often what happens when miners they price their bitcoins around at the market price, and very often they don't want to sell below a certain price, where depending on how much it costs them in electricity costs. So just due to that fact, the miners probably will increase the prices at which they're willing to sell their BTC due to electricity costs and so on. They're going to be they probably might be selling their Bitcoin at a much higher price than they are now. Even if the price goes down, they might not be willing to sell at certain prices. Yeah, so this is pretty interesting how this will play out. In my opinion, it's going to be similar to Litecoin, but maybe on a greater scale, since more people are aware of Bitcoin. And in my opinion, it'll last like 150 days. FOMO is really going to kick in, and we're going to see some parabolical price movements followed by a correction after the halving, which is very often something that happens. So that was it for today. Hope you enjoyed this news video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye bye. See you soon.